Today is an exciting day for Nikon Z9 owners as we've just introduced a free firmware update that'll bring amazing new features and functionality to your camera. The upgrade is Nikon's most comprehensive to date, significantly expanding the Z9's already powerful video and stills features while giving a performance boost to the hardware itself. I'm sure you're eager to hear more, so let's get into it. For the first time in a Nikon camera, you'll be able to record video internally in one of two 12-bit RAW formats, ProRes RAW or the new Nikon format, NRAW. These new options give you maximum flexibility for adjusting the look of your video, including color grading thanks to the broad dynamic range and latitude preserved in these files. Now, you have your choice of RAW file formats. There's ProRes RAW, which gives you a higher bit rate and is available in various resolutions and frame rates up to 4.1K 60p. And there's Nikon NRAW, and this is what's really exciting. NRAW leverages revolutionary Interpix technology to record RAW files at half the size of ProRes RAW. And because of this breakthrough, the Z9 can now shoot extraordinarily detailed RAW files at up to 8.3K 60p. And if you need faster frame rates, NRAW is actually able to capture 120p in 4.1K. Both RAW formats are recorded internally to compatible CF Express cards, which means you can shoot more portably. And because the Z9 shoots RAW video at higher resolutions, support for both UHD and DCI formats for digital cinema systems is now possible. In addition to these RAW video upgrades, Firmware 2.0 offers even more support for movie mode. Waveform monitoring for evaluating brightness levels across the frame. A red record indicator. During movie recording, a new red record border around the frame has been added in the monitor and EVF to make it more obvious that the camera is actually recording. ISO fine-tuning. Adjust ISO settings in increments of 1/6 stops, giving you more freedom to tweak your exposure when shooting video in manual mode. New information display. An improved information display has been added to help you monitor important video settings before and while you're recording. And fast AF on. Depending on your situation, you can now switch between two different AF speeds during the same video take. AF on for slow focus pulls, and fast AF on to quickly achieve focus. That's what's in store for the Z9 video shooter. So at this point, still photographers are probably wondering, what's in this upgrade for me? Well, let me tell you, because there are some serious upgrades for photography as well. Now let's start off with a new feature called pre-release burst. Imagine trying to anticipate the most important moment of an action sequence, and that moment is usually completely unpredictable. A fumble, a winning goal, a bird launching in flight. You're tracking your subject, but you can't always assume that a big moment is about to happen. Now we're addressing that with a new feature called pre-release burst. With Firmware Update 2.0, when you shoot stills at 30 or 120 frames per second, you can set the camera to start capturing images in the buffer 1 full second before the shutter is fully depressed, giving the photographer a safety net for delayed reactions so you can never miss the decisive moment. Custom wide area AF. Another valuable addition to the Z9 falls into the category of autofocusing. And for the first time in a Nikon Z camera, it'll now be possible to customize the focus area virtually in any configuration you need. In custom wide area AF, you'll be able to select from 20 different combinations of active focus areas to precisely define what part of the frame your autofocus will react to. Now here's a cool one. A new in-camera retouch feature will be added called Motion Blend, which allows you to create an image in-camera that blends a sequence of shots on your memory card over the same background. You just select the images you want to include, and the Z9 will do all the heavy lifting without the need for external software. Save and recall focus positions. Now imagine shooting a baseball game and being able to dedicate focus buttons for first, second, third base, home plate, and even the pitcher's mound, or photographing wildlife and setting multiple buttons for predictable places where action may occur. For the first time in a Nikon Z camera, you'll be able to program one or all of 12 different buttons on the camera and lens to save multiple focus positions with many Nikon Z lenses. Shifting gears, Firmware 2.0 now improves your workflow when sifting through large amounts of images shot at fast frame rates. Instead of having to go one by one through your saved images, you'll now be able to skip to the first frame in a sequence of shots. This is a big time saver when under pressure to produce an image that was shot many sequences ago. Astrophotographers will now benefit from a timer that starts counting up during bulb or timed exposures to keep track of your shutter speed. As well, the Viewfinder can be customized to new dim levels, reducing light pollution in images and making it easier to view your scene in extremely dark situations, such as when shooting night skies. And speaking of the Z9's EVF, Firmware 2.0 now unlocks 120 frames per second refresh rate and an optimized Viewfinder workflow for true DSLR-like performance. Thanks to user feedback, we're able to continually improve at a rapid pace and deliver major enhancements through powerful firmware upgrades. This update will be made available for free download on NikonUSA.com starting on April 20th, or starting on April 21st, use the free SnapBridge app to conveniently download and transfer the update directly to your camera. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.